So you know what? We all have the goals,
Yeah.
but then we're not necessarily 100% sure how to get there. What is the path?
Yeah.
What's the journey? You're going to help us with that right now.
Any goal with a dollar sign attached, because there's the big three, right? Mortgage, retirement, and education. Those are the most boring, like, oh my God, I'm so bored, wake me up. But they're really exciting goals that people don't necessarily plan for. Like, for example, you're talking about salmon. Maybe your goal is to go salmon fishing in BC. Maybe your goal is a renovation that includes a pizza oven in your backyard.
Oh, yes.
Maybe your goal is a hobby like going to chef school.
Yeah.
All of those things are kind of like life goals, but they have a dollar sign attached.
They do. So they are all considered to be financial goals.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, the pizza oven sounds great, but how do I start?
Yeah. And the first thing is to think about what you want, which I know, like, kids think about what they want all the time and they talk about it and demand it.
Yes.
But as grown-ups, aside from some online shopping, we don't actually take a step back and think holistically about what we want in life when it comes to family, physical health, contribution, travel. Now, I've got a couple photos of a recent vacation.
Oh my
We
gosh.
have a 6-year-old, and Dennis and I took Abby to Vietnam. So there we are in the stunning river with Abby on this crazy boat. And then there's another photo of Abby and I actually riding an elephant. 6-year-old.
These are life goals.
Life goals, and they're not free, right? But they're not free.
They're not.
And not only are they not free, but they take, even if you've got the buckets of money, how do you sort it out so you got the time off work and all that?
Yeah.
So I want to help people develop a plan that factors in absolutely the financial component, but also the other bits and pieces that are required in order for you to have what you want.
I love that you always make that connection between the dollar sign and your life.
Yeah.
It's not about the dollar, it's about the life.
Yeah.
So just figure it out so you can get organized and you can actually do all of these things. Okay, so you've got a goal.
Yes.
You've figured out what you want, you've thought about it.
Yes.
Now what do?
You write it down.
Write it down.
You write it down so it's real, and so it's shareable.
Okay.
Because so much of it is like, I have this goal, but it's, you know, you don't have an action plan, you can't talk to people about it. So the goal is, what do I want and how do I measure it? So here's a great one, I think, for families, is a date night.
Yeah.
A date night is a dollar sign attached. So what's the goal? A date night. How do I measure that? Once a month. I've had no date nights in 3 years, so once a month would be, you know, like good.
Yeah.
How much are we going to spend? Maybe it's $100.
Okay.
$70 on a meal and $30 on a babysitter. Then the plan part is, what are the actions I'm going to take? So I need to ask the parents at the park for the sitter. I need to check with the spouse on make sure they're available on that particular
Can you date
day.
me, please?
Book the sitter, pack lunches to free up that $100. Because if neither of us go to the food court for, you know, a week or 2 weeks, we might be able to save the money. And then what I'd love for date night is set up a separate savings account where $20 goes into that separate savings account for you as a couple.
This is huge. And the thing is, it's happening automatically, constantly.
Yeah.
So you're always meeting your goals passively. And it's passively happening because you've set it up.
Yeah. You look at that balance and go, geez, we've got $300 in that account suddenly. We clearly haven't been on a date night in long enough. And I would say your marriage is one of the biggest investments you make. And I don't mean that. I mean, sure, there's the mental health benefit of not going through a divorce, but there is also, simply from a financial perspective, anyone who's been through it is like, if I didn't have to pay for those divorce lawyers, I'd be a millionaire by now. And 2 houses and all that stuff. So aside from the many benefits of staying married, think about the financial benefit. And so the date night actually has an incredible rate of return.
Yeah, it can be somewhat therapeutic. It might keep you together, which is an amazing thing. What are we doing wrong when it comes to our goals? So what are we not hitting?
We're not having a plan.
We don't have a plan.
We have a great idea, but no plan of action. You know, if you want something to happen, you have to do stuff to make it happen. Second is, sometimes the plan simply isn't sufficient. So we've got this plan, it's just not enough to get us there, or it's too much. It's like, oh, you know, I want to lose 50 pounds. Well, I want to lose them by tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's never going to happen. So you're going to fail right away.
Okay.
The last one, and I think this is the killer app of having your goals come true, is sharing them.
Yeah, why is that so important? Because you say that and Dr. Karen says that all the time. Like, put it out there.
It exists outside of your brain. So if you think of any area of your life that's important to you, community makes an enormous difference in terms of support, ideas, and accountability. If you share with the people in your life, the people who are like your big cheerleaders, your best friends, they're more likely to say, how's that date night thing going? And you might be annoyed when they ask you that. You're like, I've done nothing on the date night. I don't even like my husband. But at least someone's asking, and it hasn't disappeared into the ether. So sharing it is a huge, huge idea. Even if it means your friend's going to say, you know, listen, you said you were going to do that, you never did that, and you're uncomfortable about it, it still will be helpful. to bring
So
those
it's all
goals
about
alive.
accountability.
It's about accountability. And
Okay.
here's my last point.
Yeah.
I want you to set yourself up to win. So you want to win at this goals thing. And I heard that there's this sex advice columnist named Dan Savage.
I love Dan
You love Dan Savage,
Savage.
right?
She's awesome.
He's talking about sex life for parents, especially with young kids. He's like, just have some. It could be
just
like
have a little, it
not
doesn't
even
matter.
good.
Yeah, just do it.
But just have it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's weird because 6 months have passed and you haven't had any. So
Right.
just lower your
And then the
expectations.
stakes are so high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the date night is not,
Just
we're
do
going
it,
to the
people.
top of the CN Tower and I will have a wind machine blowing my hair back wearing an haute couture gown. It's like, no, go to A&W near your house. Share a Blizzard or whatever it is. That's it. And there's your date night.
There you go.
Just have that. Lower your expectations. Have a positive focus and
Right.
measure yourself versus yesterday, not versus the ideal. Because, of course, the ideal date night is all that I said, this romantic thing that is loving, blah, blah, blah. No,
Yeah.
just have a positive focus. We didn't have a date night last month. We did this month.
Let's do it
was
this
at
month.
A&W. And last but not least, always remember you can pause your goals.
Okay, so
Right.
if things have happened, maybe the roof caved in, whatever, we need the money
We're
for
not
that.
having it.
We're not going to
Because you don't want to be beating yourself with a stick to say,
Yeah.
I promised Bruce on City Line I was going to have a date night once a month and I'm failing. No, no.
Yeah.
Success. You're on a winning team. We want you to stay on the winning team.
I love that. I
Yeah.
can tell you one of the best dates I've had with Leo was at an A&W.
Right.
Yeah, like we went to a fancy dancy TIFF event. It was
Yeah.
awful.
Right.
It was awful. Everybody was all posing and
Right.
everybody was pretentious.
You kicked off your high heels and said,
yeah.
get me a double burger with bacon.
Thank you.
Stacked.
And let's talk
Yeah.
about all those snooty people at that party.
Absolutely.
It was the best
boring,
date night. I
snooty
love it.
people.